Hey, Elle, did you know that you can still secure Formula One Qatar Airways Australian Grand Prix tickets?
I thought they were sold out.
Well, you can get it through Australian Grand Prix Travel.
That's pretty amazing because actually I have seen that you have your choice of accommodation and tickets and everything with them.
Yeah, it's all included and it is epic. Because I know a lot of people missed out on tickets, but you can still get them.
We may be biased, but it is our favourite race of the season.
It sure
so
is.
how do people get the tickets? Where do they find them?
All you have to do is head to travel.grandprix.com.au today.
And Oscar came out and earlier this week and said, it's been discussed with me, and I said no.
I'm Elle. And I'm Pat, and we are Paddock 43.
And this is your F1 fix.
Good morning from Hong Kong.
Good morning from my juice cleanse.
Oh gosh, that sucks. Sorry to hear.
It was the worst time to start a juice cleanse.
I was going to say, you're literally running off adrenaline. Like, I think your body's going to collapse on you if you're doing a juice cleanse and like dealing with the anxiety and the drama of the race to then drink juice.
It wasn't planned to be like this. Just as like, I feel like Oscar's weekend wasn't planned. Segue.
Segue.
But I had a wedding and I was always like, I'm going to do this juice cleanse. And you have to like these things you have to book in advance because they don't just appear on your doorstep the next day, especially the better ones. And it was like $250 for 3 days. So I was like, I'm committing to this. And then it has turned out that the last like 48 hours, 72 hours, I probably slept like 3 hours because of the insane Qatar Grand Prix times. And then we've had media stuff and I've wanted to put the best foot forward for both of us because you're away. And so here I am, been up since 2:30 a.m. craving a carb. And instead what am I drinking? I'm drinking Red Raw, beetroot, carrot, celery, and lemon.
Oh my gosh. Do you know, I woke up, as you can tell, and I'm like, I feel like a wine because I am frustrated and stressed. And I mean, why am I stressed? I'm in Hong Kong. Relax. But like, if we just take a pause for a minute and look into what's happening in the F1 world right now. And I'm like, do you not feel like a wine as well? And you're doing a juice cleanse.
I feel like a dirty martini, that's for sure. That's like my new favorite thing now. I think I've graduated from the spicy mug into a dirty martini, which is very confronting for me. But yeah, I lay in bed last night when I turned it on and waiting for the start and into turn one. It's almost like I wasn't breathing.
You just hold your breath. You literally hold your breath.
I just held it. Yeah, I didn't. I was just like, this is everything. Like Oscar has had one of his best weekends all year. He set lap records. He won the sprint. He poled in quali. He's done exceptionally well in.
You can't do any better.
Yeah, you can't. And so I'm sitting there and I'm just like, oh shit! Like, is Lando going to go in the middle and is Max going to come down on the side? And it made me very nervous. And then the heart rate just didn't go down. And then lap 7 happened.
Oh my gosh.
Lap 7.
Lap
and
7.
I'd love to hear what we haven't discussed it, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on lap 7.
On how I'm feeling.
And on how you're feeling. And I'll let you tell me how you're feeling in a second, because I'm going to tell you what everyone has just been saying in the Australian media this morning, because I've done a little bit of media for us, and
yes,
I haven't been on my phone a whole lot, and it's been getting progressively worse.
It is, yeah.
So everyone is now saying that McLaren is sabotaging Oscar, and that was done on purpose. So
I mean, but people have been saying this for so long.
Yeah, but this is the reason why. So obviously Nico Hülkenberg had an incident with Pierre Gasly, Pierre Gasly, and triggered at the safety car, and there was a lot of debris on the track. So they had to deal with that. Now, Qatar was a mandatory 2 pit stop strategy. So that was always going to be part of everyone's strategies. But when the safety car was triggered and there was so much debris, they knew that was going to be a couple of laps. So everyone thought, great, free pit stop, went in. Now, it's a gamble, right? If you don't go in, it is a gamble. But McLaren were obviously like, no, the conspiracy theory here is that if they went in, Qatar is a double stack garage as well. So Oscar would have had to go first, then Lando. And then where would have Lando have come out of? That was the risk if everyone, not everyone had done the pit stop. If, say, Aston Martin stayed out or Williams, he could have come out behind them. And obviously Carlos Sainz, like smooth operator, he did it exceptionally well. So to have, to not go into that pit stop at the same time when everyone else did, I agreed when they said on the radio to Lando, oh, we have the flexibility now because we know when everyone else is going to pit stop. And I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
makes
they've got
sense.
flexibility. But in hindsight, they have fucked up. And like now people are saying they didn't do it on purpose because they were worried that Oscar would have, won and beat Lando. And Lando would have been pushed back further down the points.
Yeah, this is the thing. And obviously, but even Lando is so pissed off. And he was like, what is this papaya rules thing where it's, that unspoken rule of not putting preference onto a driver. Look, it is.
But they didn't put preference onto a driver. That's the thing.
No,
they didn't put
but
preference.
exactly. They didn't. Exactly. But they didn't. So, but this is the whole thing of okay, the papaya rules, we don't want to favor one. So let's just not do anything. Let's do nothing. What is that achieving? And then kind of to the point that you're saying as well, and how everyone's talking about sabotage, is it either way, you're still sort of, by not making a decision, you're making a decision.
You've made a decision.
You've made a decision that has affected the drivers. And it's interesting because, you're talking about the sabotage thing, and obviously we have brought this word up a bit, and I'm kind of like, no, they're not sabotaging, they are a team. I like to see the best in people, and obviously all of Australia has been going crazy, being like, they're sabotaging Oscar, And look, when you look at it on paper and you look at how well Oscar did all weekend, and then something like this happens, and especially something where a safety car is a golden nugget of opportunity for a team. It is the best thing that you can have on a race weekend depending on where you're at, and especially a race like Qatar,
depending on where you are, but also how good your crew is.
Yes, and also if it is in your favor. I mean, obviously you don't want your driver to be crashing, but the thing with Qatar as well is it's not an easy track to overtake. It's not a very entertaining track. I think it's a pretty boring track. But
so I love it because I think it's fascinating. It's got a lot of turns and a lot of hard yards about that track. I mean, the fact that they had to do, the tires aren't even going to last more than 25 laps, and they've had to do a mandatory 2 pit stop because of that track. It makes it so much more interesting.
Correct. Okay, yes, you're not wrong there. I do agree with you with that, and I do think that it's a very fast track. But for the sprint race, there's no overtaking happening on that race. There's no overtaking happening. In that sense, I do think, yes, that you're correct with that. That does add a little bit more entertainment. But in terms of overtaking, it's not really happening at this circuit.
Well, and that's where they overtake though in the pit lane. They go, ooh, who's he coming out with?
Exactly. But then,
if
even Lando
Lando's
was
first
if
pit
Max
stop
is going in, if Max is going in, why aren't we going in?
Yeah, if Lando's first pit stop was 1 second longer, he would have been fucked.
Yeah. Which I'm
it comes down to that.
But I'm also just McLaren, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you scared? Are you scared? I don't get it. And then also, I don't know if you saw, but there is something that is just sitting with me. It is etched in my mind. Have you seen the footage of Zach Brown giving Oscar a hug?
Oh, it's awkward.
Oh. My! And it's when the uncle that you don't want to hug is hugging you at Christmas, and you're like, oh,
it's literally that. I couldn't watch it. I was like,
He's literally
that was one of the most awkward bits of footage that's come out in a long time.
He brushes past his face, trying to look at him, and Oscar's just oh. And the fact that they got that, in the middle of him doing a conference, doing a piece to the camera, I was like, thank you.
Oh my
This
God,
is
it's
gold.
so
This is
bad.
exactly what the people needed. I think Fox Sports got that. So thanks, Fox Sports, because that.
I mean, like Oscar, he didn't even like when he pulled his car into platform A. He even just said he was like, "I'm speechless." And at first I was like, "Oh, is he happy?" And then I was like, "Why the fuck would he be happy?" And I was like, "No, speechless. He's speechless. He's pissed off."
He's speechless.
And then he uploads a photo of him with a trophy, and he looks really somber, and he's no caption. I don't know if you've seen that. It's just like 10 seconds. It's like, oh, it's just awkward. But like at the end of the day, Zach Brown is also saying, I'm not picking a driver. He's obviously, though, has gone to Oscar to say, let's pick a driver. And Oscar came out and earlier this week and said, it's been discussed with me. And I said, no, good on him. He shouldn't have to. So McLaren have obviously thought about picking it, and then they've just gone, nah, let's actually just let them race. And then all the other greats have come out and said, no, let them fucking race. And that's what they're doing. I think just circumstantial. I mean, at the end of the day as well, during sprint quali and quali, Lando had a bad run. He had bad luck. Oscar's had bad luck. The only reason why Lando didn't perform was because he had bad luck. So, I mean, listening to the British broadcast of those ones was like driving me nuts.
But also he's been very lucky in the last few races. Like when we think about what happened in quali in Las Vegas. And even Lando was like, oh, shit, okay. So
exactly.
You know,
so he's been lucky. Now he's got the bad luck. Yeah.
Which, about bloody time.
I know. I mean, I did think that. But you got to hand it to Max Verstappen, because what a performance from the GOAT.
What a performance. And again, I know that it's all going to come down in Abu Dhabi and it's going to be epic, and I'm really want Oscar to win, and I think it's possible, but when you just see how Max has been performing these last couple of races and just seeing him dominate, and like we have seen him dominate in Abu Dhabi. So like McLaren, if you're watching this and if the same situation happens, please get your shit together. And surely at that point, they're like, we need a driver to win the Drivers' Championship. Like, we will do anything, whatever it takes. We haven't
had a three-way battle since, I think it's like 2010 was probably the last three-way battle, really, which was like Vettel, Alonso, Hamilton, Lewis, maybe.
Yeah.
But like, we really haven't had anything like this in a long time. And, you know, even free practice is going to be like down to the wire in terms of like, how is everyone performing? It's going to be very interesting of, you know, everyone was sure something would be cemented this weekend in Qatar, but no, the only thing cemented was that Williams got fifth in the constructors and that Carlos got third in podium, which those photos were some of the most wholesome footage to come out of James Vowles lying on the ground and everyone jumping on him. And you're like, oh, go guys.
So proud. Go. I'm like, go Carlos. Like, and I think, you know, it's one of those things where obviously everyone's eyes are on the World Drivers' Championship. So we've got to give Carlos some credit where it's due, because
100%. He did exceptionally well. You know, it could have been Kimi on that podium at one point, but you know, Kimi just let Lando go by. But that's not a conspiracy theory. People are trying to jump online saying Kimi did that on purpose. That because GP started that. Max's engineer, he goes, can we just let Lando in? Maybe he's trying to help Lando. But Toto would never allow that for Zach Brown. So I just want to put silence to that one. But what needs to happen now is Abu Dhabi. And if we want Oscar to win, this is what has to happen. You ready?
Okay, yes. Okay.
Oscar has to win the race.
That's your calculation.
Oscar has to win the race. No, look, and also, but there's obviously point differences as well. So Lando, he has to finish fourth or below. So ideally, no podium for Lando at all. And Max also has to finish P3 or below as well, because there's like a slight difference. They're in like a point apart. So that's the current scenario for Oscar to win, and for Max to win, he has to obviously win Abu Dhabi. I mean, for any of them, if they win, they naturally get it. And then also Lando has to get P4 or below as well. And then same thing with Lando. He just has to stay ahead of Max or Oscar.
So I'm so intrigued. I don't know if you did these calculations. That's fine. But if Oscar had won the race, what would have happened?
If he had won the race, I haven't done those calculations, but off the top of my head, he would have been sitting, I think, a few points below Lando. Couple points from memory.
Have you heard what's coming to Melbourne?
Oh my God, yes.
Right?
The F1 exhibition.
I'm so
29th
excited.
of October, it's coming.
I know, 29th Melbourne Convention Centre. I've been waiting for this to come to Australia.
Definitely.
Missed it last year when I was in England, and oh my God, I'm so excited. We've got race cars, we've got race suits, helmets.
I think there's over like 100 exclusive interviews. There's also racing sims, which gets the people involved. Very immersive.
I know. And everyone can come with us, right?
Almost
because,
everyone.
almost everyone, because we have 10 double passes to give away.
We sure do.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. And if you want to enter, link below.
Link and description below tells you how to win.
So what would have happened? Was that, did I say English?
It's okay.
No. What?
We understand.
Okay. Anyway, moving forward. If Oscar had won, he would have gained 21 points more than what he actually had. So yes, he would have just been a couple below. So Lando still would have been in front, and Oscar just would have had to be in front next week as well. This weekend.
Yeah.
But now he's
Anyway.
third. Now he's got a harder scenario to do.
So, Elle, who do you think it's going to be?
I think Max Verstappen is going to clinch this, but I really hope not. Like, look, we're trying to get to Abu Dhabi. We're going to make it work. I'm putting it out there, manifesting that we're going to be there. It's going to be a very short turnaround. It's just going to happen. I just, watching Max drive, and he is great at Abu Dhabi, I just feel like it would be silly not to think it's going to be him. Who do you think?
Yeah. Max. Like, obviously I want Oscar, but realistically I think it'll be Max.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It feels
If not
sad
Max,
saying that, though.
I know. If not, maybe it might. It's so hard because you just don't know. Like, you don't know if the pressure is going to get to Lando. You don't know.
I didn't think Max was going to win Qatar. I was like, is Lando or Oscar's going to win Qatar?
I
didn't think it was going to be Max.
I thought it would be Max. I predicted Max. And then when I saw how Oscar was performing this week, I was like, oh, okay. Oscar has this. Oscar's got this. Unless something happens. Because that's the way his sport works. Shit always happens. And lo and behold, safety car, shit strategy from McLaren, something happened. So, anyway.
Time will tell. Well,
time will tell.
Hopefully that's where I get to see you again, is in Abu Dhabi this weekend.
I know. I am tossing up between, do I make Peter fly home on his own with baby, which I feel bad about.
I know you feel bad, but I just feel like that's going to be an extreme flight.
I know.
To go back to Melbourne, to go back to that side of the world.
I know.
Wow.
I just feel like I want to do that to support my husband and be with my baby. But I don't know. I feel like Peter might say to me, just go straight from here. It'll be cheaper as well.
We need to go look at flights now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's all happening. By the way, just a quick one. Did you get excited when you saw Carl on the TV? I did. I was like, there he is.
It's Carl! We knew you! Anyway, do you have a green flag and a red flag?
Ooh. My green flag is that for the last 4 days, I've been driving an Lexus LC 500. And I don't know how I got this in my hands. They reached out and they said, do you want it? And I was like, okay. And this thing, it is 5-cylinder V8 engine. And this one, I think, it retails at $250. It's got hand stitched red leather inside. It's a bright red car, which I also feel weird about because I feel like if you're a red sports car, you should be a Ferrari, not. That's fun.
But it's a different red.
Yeah, but Ferraris come in all different reds as well now. It's a Ferrari red color. Looking at this car, I'm looking at it right now.
Really? It looks kind of orange.
Yeah.
Like orange toned rather than blue toned.
Nah. It's not. Yeah, because I went and drove past a Ferrari shop to look. because I was like, I feel like only Ferrari should be red, but it's really, really fun. And I've got to go return it this afternoon. So I'm sad, but also I'm also happy to let go of the responsibility of having a car like that in my possession.
Yeah, stressful.
Yeah, if you're just driving, everyone's looking at you and parking, and just like it's a little bit too much. Like,
yeah.
But anyway, what about you?
Obviously green flag. I'm in Hong Kong, baby, with my fam, which is
Hong
lovely.
Kong.
And then my red flag is probably, I mean, you heard the flight over. I'm going to write a scathing letter to Qantas when I have at the time, because they just horrific service. It felt like I was on a budget plane in every way possible. And then Mush, like so many delays, and then it screwed up with Mush's sleep, and then he, for the last 2 hours, screamed the whole time. And it's one of those things where you feel guilty. Like, in my head at the time, I was like, all I care about is my child, and I just want him to be okay.
Yeah.
And it, like, absolutely, your heart is just breaking. But then I'm like, I do feel bad for other people, and it's one of those things where it's like, I've been on the other end being like, this baby needs to shut up, and then being on that side of it is like, it's like so much guilt and emotions, and anyway, so that's my green flag, my red flag. The green flag I'm in Hong Kong.
Have you ever seen those people that do like the baby bags and they give it out to all the passengers around them?
No.
Have you seen that? They're like,
No.
So when people get on flights with a baby, they give it to all the passengers sitting around them in like a Ziploc bag. There's like lollies, earplugs, like all that sort of stuff. And then they write like a note pretending it's from the baby, being like, I'm really sorry if I scream. Like,
oh, that's cute. Well, the thing is, like, Gabriel is not a screamer at all. Like, or a crier, and he did so well, like, throughout the flight. He was so good, like, and then the end, he was like, I'm fucking done. Like, we were supposed to land at like 8 p.m. Melbourne time, and we didn't land until like 12ish, and so he couldn't sleep, and he was just like, this is shit, this is so shit. So
Baba. Oh well, he's exploring the world.
exactly, but anyway, I'm gonna go to the monster building now, and you are gonna go return a car and then rest.
I am. Yep. I'm going to go do exactly that. All right. I'll chat to you later.
Bye.